Hey guys, what's going on? White Fox 1225 here with another video, and today I want to talk about Fallout 4, a game I know we're all really excited for, but I don't want to talk about the game in general. I want to talk about a post on Reddit that was made about 11 months ago by someone who claimed that they were part of the Bethesda team and then they were fired by accidentally leaking information. I'm not sure how you do that, and definitely posting this didn't help their cause because it's a huge chunk of information that, if it's true, will be just like basically everything you need to know about the game before you go into it. So I figured I'd share it. In my personal opinion, I think this is all legitimate news. I think it's all real. I believe her story, but of course there is the chance that it's not real at all and it's all made up. So just keep in mind that none of this was released by Bethesda or anything like that. So the game is going to take place in Boston, which we already knew. It's going to take place in the year 2287, and that'll be exactly 10 years after Fallout 3. And they said that they want the game to be more story-driven, more story-based, and a little more cinematic. So if her post is to be believed, then your character will actually talk in this game, which is pretty, cool. I don't know how I feel about it. It's pretty cool. It'll be new to the Fallout series and really new to Bethesda RPGs. We haven't seen it in the Elder Scrolls or anything like that. It's something that a lot of RPGs use. You have Dragon Age, The Witcher that all use this, so it'll be kind of interesting. So as always, you'll start the game by making your character, but the huge thing that shocked me in this post, if it's true, is that you'll have to be a male character in this game, at least for the main story. So they said it's, they need it in order to have the story they want. You need to be a male character, and you can switch to a woman, they said, after you finish the main story. If this is true, it's huge. It's really crazy. It's kind of weird for a Bethesda game, especially, like a Fallout or Elder Scrolls game, because you always kind of just like play the way you want. That's kind of the point of an RPG. It's kind of weird that they're gonna make you be a guy, if it's true, of course, and I could see the community being pretty upset about it. You could definitely see some backlash, so we'll have to wait and see, of course, if this is all true. But if it is, that's huge, and that's gonna be a huge change for the series. And I would just be super surprised. But again, like I said, I do believe the post, but only time will see if that's actually true. But anyway, the story is supposed to be that after a blast, you wake up in a building and it's kind of like, falling down around you. You see your wife is dead, and robots or androids are kind of storming the place, killing people, and you kind of have to escape. You're known as the officer in the game, and you kind of have to escape and, get your revenge on the people who did that. That's just sort of how the story starts. I'm sure it'll be a broader story, lots more, detail and stuff, other than just like a simple revenge story, but that's how the story is going to kick off, at least. So now let's talk about the area where the game takes place and talk about Boston a little bit. So like I said, it does take place in Boston. The Institute right now is going to own the downtown area of Boston. The countryside is sort of like a wasteland. It has like small towns and settlements and stuff like that. The Brotherhood of Steel has taken over Logan International Airport. The Brotherhood of Steel and the Institute are kind of at war over certain parts of Boston, which should look pretty cool. The Railroad is going to own Vault 79. If you guys don't know who that is, they kind of help androids escape the Institute, sort of like the slavery, kind of like freedom kind of faction in the game. Then the Talon Company and the Raiders will also play a smaller part in the game too. So Fallout 3 apparently is Fallout 4 is supposed to be 3 times larger than Skyrim, which is huge. Skyrim was already massive. It took me a really long time to explore it all and find all the locations and stuff. So Fallout 3 is supposed to be 3 times bigger than this, and that's just crazy. If you guys just can picture that, the scale is just massive. And in her post, she said they kind of wanted to make the world more realistic and interactive, so players could, find new things, have new places to explore, even if they play the game for like a couple of years. So just having a world that you could explore for 3 years and still find new stuff and still have stuff to do is, crazy. Like, I love Skyrim, but eventually I kind of ran out of stuff to do in my first playthrough, which is kind of sad. So having like a world with that much detail, that much interaction would just be really amazing. It would just almost be like a never-ending RPG, which would be really just a beautiful thing if that's true. This was the thing in the post that got me the most excited, just because having a world, like I said, of that scale and that detail would just be completely amazing and mind-blowing for me. But moving on, guys, let's talk about the gameplay. So as usual, we have the third person and the first person gameplay, but on PC there's also going to be this mode called Classic Mode that's more of like a top-down sort of approach to the combat. I'm sure it'll look kind of like, I don't know, like an old arcade game. I'm sure you guys can picture what I'm saying from the top-down perspective. That's kind of cool. I'm sure I won't use it that much. I'm sure most people won't use it that much, but kind of cool that it's there, and it's a nice little feature to add in. For the creatures returning, we have the super mutants, the feral ghosts, the vicious dogs, feral cats, and spore carriers. Those are the ones that were confirmed in the posts, or she said were going to be in the game. I'm sure there will be a lot more than that, but that's all the things that were listed in that post. Then moving on, guys, let's talk about the platforms. This game is going to be on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC originally, and then later in that year there's going to be the old console release, and then it's going to use Skyrim's engine for the new PS4, Xbox One, and PC launch. It has a newer engine than that. In terms of a timeline and when the release is actually going to happen, the date she listed was that in June 2015 we'd get a Fallout trailer. She said it would come at E3. Obviously that changed, or this was just false. But yeah, the E3 was supposed to give out the trailer. Right? Maybe they changed it up again. Keep in mind this was written almost a year ago. Things do change. Then we're supposed to get the first gameplay trailer in July. I think we're gonna probably get some gameplay at E3. That would be my guess, because Bethesda does have a showcase at E3, so I'm pretty sure we'll see some gameplay, or at least a gameplay trailer. Maybe some more information will come in July. In August, she said we'll get more information. Then she said in October 2015 it'll launch for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Then in November 2015 we get our first DLC. In December of 2015 the second DLC will launch for the PC, and also the PS3 and 360 versions will be released. In January 2016 we'll have a third DLC. In March 2016 we'll have a fourth DLC, and then in April 2016 we have our fifth and final DLC. And it was something that's really cool. She said in June 2016 a Fallout spin-off will be revealed that's being developed by Behavior Interactive. Now, I did some research on the company, and they have been taking place in some games, or taken part in some games like Far Cry 3, the new Wolfenstein, Shadow of Mordor. So some really good games. They've also taken place in some mobile games, like a couple MMOs like Warhammer, and a bunch of like movie games like for like the DS or the Wii. So it's kind of hard to tell. My guess would be it would be like a mobile game or a game for the Wii or the DS, but it could also be like a cool standalone DLC. It's impossible to tell, but that would be announced in June 2016, they said, and then it would actually be released in October 2016. Either way, it's pretty exciting. It looks like they have a lot of good support, lots of DLC for this game, which always is cool. So again, guys, just keep in mind that this is all just kind of rumor and information that was leaked, but we don't know how credible the source is. In my personal opinion, like I said, I do believe it just because some of the stuff they wrote in the post like a year ago has actually happened and has been announced for the game. So we'll have to wait and see till we get more information. That shouldn't come for too long. We should have some more in like a couple weeks at E3. When that does come, I will of course be making another video for it. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.